Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe and like. And please visit us at barrykibrick.com, where you'll see all the ways that you can become a patron of our mission and help us continue to build a community of seekers who quest for knowledge, information, and most importantly, wisdom. Robert, thanks for sticking around for our afterwards segment. I teased it in the episode itself about the flexible mind, and the one thing in the laws of human nature that you really insist upon is that we have to keep on adapting. It's not like you read the book and all of a sudden, oh, I've got all the laws of nature. Throughout your life, you must create that flexible mind. It's almost like that steel you talked about in the episode that doesn't break. It does, it can bend. That's important for our mind to do the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, the mind, like the body, tends to get rigid as it gets older. And as we get into our 30s and we start to feel our bones creaking, we do yoga to kind of, lengthen and become more flexible. Well, the mind has the same problem, and what we need is kind of yoga for the mind. We need to be able to continually stretch our brain and not get locked into these basic assumptions, which is what happens to people as they get older. When they're in their early 20s and they're so excited about life, we tend to get certain ideas about what things should be, and then we get locked into them, and as we get in our 30s and 40s, those ideas become rather rigid, and we get divorced from reality. And we need to loosen ourselves up constantly. So one thing I want to emphasize is that when you were a child, and we all had through this experience, you were incredibly open to experience. You were so open that you would learn at this immense rate, at an incredible rate, faster than any period later in life. And what made you so open was your curiosity. You were genuinely curious about the world. You didn't start with the assumption, oh, I already know what's going on in the world. I already know about people. I already know about science, etc. Instead, you realized you were ignorant and you were hungry for knowledge. And I want you, as one point of this yoga for the mind, is to return to your childhood position and recreate that sense of curiosity. The world is incredibly bizarre and things are weirder than you imagine. I call this the sublime, and I end my book on a meditation on the sublime. What is so vast and immense in the universe you can't even begin to comprehend. And science is filled with all sorts of things like that. And I want you to return to that feeling of awe that you had as a child about the world, and you want to discover and you want to learn. You return to that pose and you will gain this flexible mind almost automatically.
And you even give us a trick on how to do it. You say, when it comes to your own self-opinion, try to have some ironic distance from it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this earlier about character and about people who are phony versus people who are authentic. And my number one gauge for determining the difference between the two is whether a person can laugh at themselves. People who can laugh at themselves, who can make fun of themselves, they, to me, reveal a great deal of that character that I was talking about. And one of the icons in my book is Abraham Lincoln. I think he was someone who was extremely comfortable with his nature. And one thing about Lincoln is he was always making fun of himself. He was always cracking jokes about how ugly he was. And I think that this is a sign of somebody with a deep, rich, and flexible character.
Robert, your deep, rich wisdom never ceases to amaze me.
Wow.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Barry. Yeah.